We begin with a warning from the U.S. Education Secretary. Students and teachers need to wear masks in schools or in-person classes could be shut down again. U.S. COVID cases have surged to 106,000 a day, raising concerns about the upcoming school year.
The White House is pushing vaccinations for everyone 12 and older. It's calling on schools to hold pop-up vaccination clinics and asking doctors to include COVID-19 shots in their back-to-school physicals for student athletes. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona joins us now to discuss. Good to see you, Mr. Secretary. Boy, do you have your work cut out for you.
Hello, happy to be with you.
Well, I'm glad you're here because maybe you can help people see the light. Let's start with the governors in Florida and Texas. I wonder if you want them to stay after school because they are already saying they're going to ban the mask mandates in their schools. What's your message to them?
You know, first of all, across the country, there's that back-to-school feeling. Our educators, our students, parents, we're excited. This is an exciting time of the year. There's a vibe about it, and we're excited about it. But in those places where we see community spread is really high, we need to make sure we're following the mitigation strategies that protect students. We're talking about protecting students. This shouldn't be hard. We want to protect our students and staff and make sure that they can go back to school and enjoy in-person learning and not have their education disrupted again because of decisions that are being made that go against what we know is best.
I know. I get what you're trying to do, but they're already saying, listen, we're not going to do it. You know, this mask now has become so polarizing and so political, and I'm trying to figure out how we get past that to do what's best for the students.
Right. You know, let's keep the politics out of it. Let teachers teach. Let school leaders lead. They know what to do. We were in this position last year as education leaders, and let me tell you, last year when we were talking about reopening schools, and I remember being a part of those conversations in Connecticut, we didn't have the frequency of tests that we have now. We didn't have the science that we have now. We didn't have vaccines then, and we were able to safely reopen our schools. We can do it for our students. They deserve it. They've been waiting. You know, they've had disrupted learning. We owe it to our students to get them into their schools safely. We owe it to our educators. We keep thanking educators. Well, let's show them that we appreciate them by keeping them safe.
Secretary Cardona, one of the things last year that was always looming was this idea, even when kids went back, I know we kept waiting to see, well, then is something going to get shut down? And especially with the Delta variant now, it feels like that's still out there. What would have to happen for you to say we need to backtrack now and kids need to go back home? We can't keep them in school.
Right. You know, at the federal level, I don't have the authority to either mask mandate or vaccine mandate. That's not what we do at the federal level. We provide guidance and support and funds. I mean, the American Rescue Plan, $130 billion for tools to get your schools open safely. But I think what we do is make sure that we're creating a culture where we're working really closely with our health and safety experts because the local decisions are critically important. It's really important for our local superintendents and our local states to be able to navigate reopening and, unfortunately, in some cases having to scale back a little bit based on the trends in their state, based on the trends in their community. We want to promote that by having our education leaders and our health experts talking. Leave the politics out of it.
When you talk about giving that direction to local communities, another thing I know that has come up, and we don't have immunization yet for 12 and under, but that seems to be on the horizon, hopefully soon. What about this idea, like a measles, like a mumps, like a chickenpox vaccine? When might we see an immunization required for students going into school?
You know, I focus really closely on making sure we're doing everything in our schools, and I rely very heavily on the health and safety experts. They're the ones that could answer that question best. I'm not a medical expert, and
would you want to see that? There's a reason we have it for those other diseases.
Right. Without question, I want to make sure that our schools can be open without interruption, and if that means that a safe vaccine can allow that, I'm totally in favor of it. We have 90% of our educators that have gotten vaccinated already. We're working on making sure that our youth get vaccinated as well so that we can get to the business of teaching and learning, which is what we do best.
Mr. Secretary, it's Vladimir Duthier. Let me ask you a question about the federal freeze on student loan payments, which is expiring next month. Will it be extended?
Yes, this is a huge priority for us at the Department of Education. Our borrowers need support, and our borrowers need information. So very soon you'll be getting information on that. While I don't have an announcement today, I can tell you this is the highest priority, and we have to make sure that our borrowers have enough time to plan for repayment. So that's being taken into account. And at the end of the day, our department needs to do more to protect our borrowers and to support our higher education students in general.
Okay, give me a 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to let you go on how parents can know it's safe for their kids to go to school. 1, 2, 3, go.
Number one, ensure that the school is prioritizing health and safety. Number two, make sure that the school has social and emotional well-being strategies to help our students come back from the pandemic. And number three, focus on academic excellence. That's our roadmap. We're sticking to it.
All right, Secretary Cardona, we thank you for your time this morning. I know we'll see you again.